Bullying is one of the most sensitive topics to be talked about in virtually any event and any type of conversation. Almost everyone has been bullied in their lifetime, or has done some instance of bullying themselves. I'm here to talk to you about the effects of bullying, and why you shouldn't do it, or even think about it. And hopefully, by the end of this speech, you'll think twice before poking offensive fun at somebody, especially people you know and see on a regular basis. But before I talk about the effects, I would like to share with you all a small part of my life, if you would let me. I would like to share with you all my experience in bullying. When I was in elementary school, my classmates would bully me for sport. They would write offensive and derogatory statements and testimonies about me on Friendster, Multiply, and Formspring. Some even went to the extent of posting anonymous comments and signing the statements at the bottom with my name in an attempt to ruin my reputation, or at least what was left of it by that time. They would steal my notebooks before major exams and tell me that they miraculously found the items and questions about a month later, way after the exams were over, and the items would never return to me in mint condition either. They would be vandalized, ripped up, and overall unusable. They would also literally throw things at me and leave some of my body parts bruised or swollen, sometimes both. I had no one in my corner. Well, I didn't have anyone that was brave enough to stand up to the bullies and defend me, and I wasn't as tenacious and outspoken as I am today. The only people I had on my side were my parents, and whenever something majorly traumatizing would happen, they would storm into the faculty lounge and demand to straighten out the problem. I was bullied for that too. They said I didn't have the guts to stand up to them myself, so I would send my parents out to fight my battles for me. It was partly true, but at that point, I really couldn't care anymore. At least someone was defending me. The emotional and psychological effect of the bullying took a toll on me when I was in grade 6, then again at grade 7, and then for a few more brief moments in high school. I would pretend to be sick in front of my parents so that they wouldn't let me go to school, and when they did, I would stoop to drastic measures to have the clinic send me home. It got so bad that I really did get sick one day, and I thought that that was the end. The sad part was that I wanted it to be the end. I wanted all my problems to cease to exist, and I was very much welcoming to the prospect of dying. But I pushed through because some older people told me that it was going to get better. I just had to keep telling myself that it wasn't going to be anytime soon. After countless sessions with my assigned guidance counselors throughout grade school and high school, I was told that I was apparently very brave to be able to sustain those kinds of emotional wounds for that long, and not push through with the thoughts I had of giving up. I was told that there were so many kids who couldn't take the pain of being bullied on a daily basis that they actually did give up, and there were families who were mourning the loss of a loved one because of it. I always thought that I was such a coward for not pushing through, then giving myself the excuse of I didn't want my parents to go through so much trouble. Truth was, I'd seen some of the reports of the kids who took their own lives because of bullying, and I didn't want myself to be one of those kids. But there are people who can't take the pain, and are more than capable of ending the pain. Believe me, I know. I lost someone because of this. Bullying is not acceptable and should definitely be punishable by law. Growing up, I had some really scumbag teachers who would tell me that bullying was just a part of life, that I shouldn't take it personally. But the thing is, bullying is personal. People make up rumors about you, spread them, and make other people believe it. They beat you up physically and emotionally. And for people to tell you that it's normal and you shouldn't worry about it, that's just wrong. They're turning a blind eye so that they could wipe their hands clean when and if you die. Bullying should be stopped, or at the very least, assigned a justifiable sanction when someone is guilty of it. I wish for a world where I don't have to hear about boys who hung themselves because they were tortured for being gay, or girls who slit their wrists for the same reason. I wish for a world where people aren't made fun of because they're too fat or too thin. I wish for a world where people would be called by their real names, or at the most a nickname that they approve of. But that would be a perfect world. And ours is nowhere near perfect. Yet, I still hope and pray that one day the world would be just a little less imperfect. I pray for the day that bullying would be recognized for the crime that it is. Wasn't it in the Bible, where God told us through the 10 Commandments that we should not bear false witness against our neighbor? That we should not kill, that we should not steal. Bullying disobeys those commandments. Bullying goes against what God has told us to do. Why shouldn't it be punished rightfully? Why should the victims bear all the results and the perpetrators get away with it? Why shouldn't they face the consequences of their actions? My name is Allison MuddyOrbs. I am a victim and a survivor of bullying. And I am extremely and implicitly against it. I invite you all to take a stand with me and fight for the rights of those who have been wronged by this heinous crime. Thank you.